This is 20 Minutes Live. Welcome to all of you from India and around the world. I am Ninat Karpe, partner of 100x.vc. Today on 20 Minutes Live, we have Chef Sanjeev Kapoor. Chef Sanjeev Kapoor barely needs any introduction. I only want to remind you that he is a Padma Shri awardee, a celebrity chef, and a food entrepreneur. With our overarching theme of what next, Chef Sanjeev Kapoor will speak on the future of food business. Our format is simple, unique, and crisp. Chef Sanjeev Kapoor will speak for 10 minutes, and after that, we'll have a round of Q&A for 10 minutes. If you want to ask him anything, please post your question on the window on the screen. Over to you, Chef Sanjeev Kapoor.
Thank you very much, Ninat, for giving me this opportunity. I know that this is a crisp format, so I will start shooting from the hip right from the beginning. People have been asking me that what would happen to the food business. According to me, there are food, the way it has been divided. Food either we eat at home or is the food that we eat outside our home. And I think both have been there have been some changes that have happened in recent past. And if we look at the changes, then with those changes, there are opportunities that have come in. And if we look at the India opportunity, because I want to structure and focus my thoughts and talk around the opportunities rather than looking at what has gone wrong, what is the opportunity that has gone away. So there are many opportunities that are new that have come in, and those opportunities are something that we need to be ready with. And before we get into the opportunity, I think it is important to understand as to where the Indian of today is going when it comes to food. What are the trends that are there? If there are any mega trends that are there. I think one of the big trends that we have seen in recent past, and that has not changed during this difficult period, even if people are eating at home, is the entertainment concept, where people are eating and they are entertaining themselves with food. And what I mean by that is there is more involvement with food. The food, whether they are cooking at home, whether they are eating, they are taking a picture, sharing it with their family. It's more Instagram has gone into play. There is more interaction with food that has happened. It's not just one tick in the box. There is more involvement with the food, which is a good sign, which is a good opportunity for people in food or wanting to get into food. Second, Indianness in food has been increasing in last couple of years, and during last few weeks, the quotient has gone up, which means nostalgia around food is coming back. It's like people are finding time to find nostalgic photographs. They have time for everything. Nostalgia around food also has found more time. So people are trying recipes that they may have eaten. They are trying and remembering those things. And Indianness is increasing. That is a trend that we are seeing. Be it use of millets, be it use of chutneys, be it use of pickles, anything and everything that we are seeing more and more. One thing, because the internationalization in last few years has happened so much, and because of internet, we can reach anywhere, whether we have been there or not. We can access information very fast. Internationalization of consumption of food has happened much faster than we would have traveled. And that has also been an opportunity, whether we are eating at home or we are eating outside. So that's another trend that I would say. I think one thing that has happened is ease meals. How my friend KS Narayanan, who and KS and I, we work together on food opportunities of different kind. I think things which is food on fingers, like you want to order something, could be a food that you want to order, could be ingredients, could be a meal, could be a meal kit that you want to cook at home, but you want to use your fingers, use your phone, and that's what we want food on fingers. It could be a delivery that has coming in from a restaurant, could be a meal kit, could be. So food tech is at play. So any opportunity with food, the food tech is at the center. That's an opportunity that one cannot ignore. In recent times, in last few weeks, one big change that has happened is that the way people looked at food, it was taste was paramount, and then there was health. And so these were two big pillars: taste, health, and I would say one was convenience. And when I say convenience, is ease at times, ease of cooking if it is at home, or if something that you were looking at restaurant, then it could be variety. But the change that we have seen is the health was earlier probably to do more with weight loss, things like that. But there's a new word that has come in the last few weeks. That's immunity boosting food. So health definition in food has changed. So opportunities around that could be Indian Ayurvedic ingredients that we had, or could be anything that is could be haldi, could be licorice or mulatti, or many other things that we have in our Indian repertoire. That those opportunities are increasing. Taste is still there. Taste you cannot beat. You cannot say that stays permanent. That we have not seen any shift, and I don't likely to see any shift from taste parameters. That will stay paramount. But health, and in that safety, hygiene, immunity, these things are new things which will be at center stage at least for next 12 to 18 months at least. So anyone who is in any food business, anything that they are doing, then these three, safe food, hygienic food, is something that they should not run away from and start focus. One change that has happened is on manpower front. We will see scarcity in this trade. Cost of manpower will go up. So be prepared for that. Cost of safe food and hygienic food, that cost will go up. So pay definite note of that. The other thing is build any business, any model on keep variable cost. Build food business. If you have anything, forget what was. Because this time of lockdown or the last few weeks, I say it's like when you put a restaurant in renovation, it's not what restaurant was, it is what it would be. So any food business, whether it's restaurant, delivery, food, convenient food, whatever is there, make sure that you use this period in renovating your thought, renovating your business model, and make sure that keep your cost or convert most of your cost to maximum variable cost, push to variable cost in each and everything, be it rentals, be it in manpower cost, whatever you can do, convert that into variable cost. And you may say that is not possible, but that's where winners will be differentiated, that you have to learn to push and say, no, this is it or I'm not doing it. And those are the hard calls that need to be maintained. That variability in cost is the key. More fixed costs, more deaths. Eating out business in India has always seen more deaths. And if more higher fixed costs, people, they continue with that, they will see higher deaths. So you don't want that. So make sure. In times to come, right beginning, today I would say food service business will see a spike because manpower cost will go up. The solutions being provided, food business of creating solutions for home, for out of home consumption, those will find more takers. So specialty foods, intermediary foods, foods for food service businesses will find upside, and that's the focus. Start looking at those opportunities. Best time for entrepreneurs. You've been working all your life, convert to be an entrepreneur. I think best time because the risk is low. So this is the time to be an entrepreneur. And you may say that that's quite a different way of thinking, that entrepreneur means high risk. No, actually, if today you can do anything, and risk of failure, which fear of failure that most people have, that even if that risk is actualized, the loss would be lower than what maybe actual loss may be there. Start small, but start your own. And this is the best time, especially for skilled people. Very good chance that you may earn more. So start creating your own small businesses, and start creating businesses around higher variable cost than fixed. Look at intermediary foods. Even if you are buying, look at those solutions more. They will create efficiency in the business, and that is also an opportunity for you to supply, whether it's for home, whether it is for restaurant or food service. And look at tech as an enabler sooner. There is today, without tech, if you want to look at any food business, don't even think that, because I think that's definitely a given. Experiential things will, for some time, again, for 12 to 18 months, will take a hit. Does not mean they will die down. The need for anyone and everyone to experience new foods, different things, is always there. They may be latent, people may have frequency may go down, but when that latent need is there, then it comes up, and then there is a week of that goes in. But for some time, there are newer opportunities. Focus on those. In restaurants, in food service, individual portions, like we have our thali, people will stop sharing foods when eating out. So look at options which are individual options. Look at even banqueting, where you can look at single portions. Look at things which are done as a portion for one, and that's even for younger people, like you have bowls for one. That is the way to look at, create your menus, create your offering, where you are not really sharing, especially eating outside the home. That's something which will become a must, I would say. That would become must do. So do it quickly. Don't look at what way you did, and don't expect that when you open, everything will remain the same. It will not. World is changing every day as we speak. We better be prepared. Fortunately, people may say that hospitality is, yes, I understand hospitality and tourism are hit, but food is not hit the way most people think. There is hope. There is a category which we will continue to consume. This is something, there would be opportunity. These skills not many people would have. There would be people who would pay for these skills, pay for value addition of this. So there is definitely hope for food. So I would not stress more. I would reinvent more. Look at opportunities, real opportunities, but be aware that there would be costs that would go up, and the propensity to pay by the consumer would be lower, which means any inefficiency that is there in the system. That's why get the experts, get food service experts to create intermediary foods or any solutions that are there. Work with experts more. No room for any efficiency, more variable cost, and it's I think easy. And I can see Ninad with his question. I know food as a subject. You ask me to pack that in 10 minutes. Go on, Ninad.
Oh, you have covered a lot of ground, Chef. You spoke about so many things. Start small, start now, variable cost, a lot of things. There are tons of questions. We have got 10 minutes. I'm going to start with something I know you're passionate about. Shubham Sharma is saying that why do people, nutritionists, always give, suggestions for recipes from Western food? Why they don't promote Indian original diets?
I think very valid. I think first thing, I think we all need to. I don't think it's all of them are not promoting international foods. There are many who are doing our own food, what we grow. I know Rujita, Devekar, I know Pooja. They all talk of what we have, food from what we grow. I think more people are talking about that. More people of repute are talking about that. But can that talk increase? Yes, it can. Should it? Yes, it should.
So, this is a couple of people have asked this question. So I'm flashing Yasmin who asked, is there likely to be a greater trend towards
Yeah.
vegetarianism
So
after?
I think India is, I've always maintained India is a vegetarian country at heart. And if there is one country that can be the flag bearer for vegetarianism in the world, that is India. And I think in this pandemic, we are seeing more skew towards vegetarianism. We are seeing that. And would it lead to higher consumption? My guess is yes, but only numbers and data will be able to see whether people miss and eat more meat after the lockdown is over. We don't know, but my guess is yes, there would be more vegetarian food consumption.
So this question is on automation, robotics. You mentioned
Yes.
about difficulty in manpower. So with robotic kitchen being invented, do you think it opens up avenues for chef to copyright recipes and publicize it in automated kitchens? What's your view on
Yeah.
automated kitchens?
Yeah, so I think these are early days for robotic kitchens in a country like India where manpower is still. So while the cost of manpower will go up, we have to do a cost to benefit ratio. I think till we get efficient robots, till we get that scale, they will only be okay in scalable models. In small restaurants, it still will not be something where it'll make sense. In factories, it may make sense. You have paratha making factory. Would robotic machines work there? Yes. You want to do that with samosa making? Yes, makes sense. For tikki making in bulk? Yes, makes sense. For copywriting of recipes and doing that, should chefs do that? Yes, I think in last 10 years, what I have seen that singers and music industry of India, they have created a big force where they have created their copyright and created a stream of revenue for their creations. I think that's what Indian chefs need to do. But for that, they need to create more. They don't stop copying, start creating more things, and don't look at creating a taco with a thepla, right? That's not creativity. So that's something which you say that, oh, I did that. No, there are things that is there is something that you can create a thepla which is of a different kind. Is there something that you can do? There are multiple things that we can do. So be original, create more Indian things. We always still say that Indian things of grandmother, Raja, Maharaja, ancient things that have still more value. Tell me new Indian things that people are talking about. So let's create and be more creative with Indian things.
Sure. So, I have the lots of questions. So maybe you could try and respond to two, three more.
Sure.
This is a question from, sorry, this is a question on food and hygiene, safety and hygiene. You had mentioned before, but maybe you can again highlight.
Yeah, so I
How
think
important will
safety
it
and
be?
hygiene would become the number one reason for people to eat out. So for next 6 to 9 months, it would be number one. Taste would be number two. Safety would be number one. And as part of that safety, hygiene would come in. So communication of that, first training of staff, actual doing that, and then have the ability to communicate it to your customer would be paramount. So don't take it lightly. Don't take it lightly. Take it head on. Understand it. Use this time to train yourself, train your staff, start creating communication methods, start creating a workflow, understand best practices. Use this time. Do not waste. Do not think that when you go to your restaurant or your place, that is the day to start. The day to start is today. The day to practice is when you open.
Okay, day to start is today. So there are
Yes.
two questions from Deepak Gupta and Nikki. Both are asking, Chef, what is your view on vegan food? Is there a lot of scope in India, or is it just an early trend?
So vegan food has been catching up very fast. I think vegetarian has more scope in India than vegan, because we have to understand, in India, India is the largest. So between vegan and vegetarian, the big large difference is dairy products. So dairy free vegetarian food in India is still not that easy, because India is the world's largest producer and consumer of dairy in the world, right? In such a scenario, when we have so much of abundance of dairy, and there's so much of goodness of dairy, it is not that easy to lose that over few months or few couple of years. That may take time, or that time may not ever come, because communications around food, dairy, all of that, money that goes in. Imagine, look at Amul, the amount of money that they make, and the amount of money that they spend to influence the mind. Somebody will need to have that power to counter that. So why would you want to? So look at bigger opportunity, which is vegetarian than vegan. But would it grow as a small niche? Yes, it will grow. Definitely, it will grow.
So there is two, three questions. I am kind of combining them. There's some. There are small restaurant owners, and obviously, they're struggling. They're asking, chef, should we change to a complete delivery model for the next year or so? What is your, short advice for small restaurant owners,
Yeah,
standalone?
so I think there's no easy answer for this, because you have to evaluate where you are, you have to evaluate your market, you have to understand who's your client. Without understanding, and without having the ability, do not make a change because everyone is saying that. Do what you can do best. Fight a battle that you can win. Don't go and look at this, oh, Hitler did this. No, no, no. This is your battle. Understand it. So if you think that you can understand the game of delivery more, so I would say that you have never done delivery. Don't do that. Start with what you know, and start delivering, start focusing more than ever, start understanding. And if you see that shift, then keep increasing your focus. And maybe in next 15 to 20 days, agility is the key here. Be nimble, be agile, act fast, be
Be
impatient.
nimble, be
Time
agile.
to be impatient.
Be, well, I'm also getting impatient. My 20 minutes are getting over. So there are tons of questions, but I'll take the last two. I'm combining some questions. People have again asked you about ready to eat packaged food, long shelf life food, Indian food,
Oh,
specifically Indian. What is the scope on the global market?
yeah. So currently a very small market. The market size is very small, but we are seeing early signs, and you will see more growth. But for small players, it may be a good time. The hyper local, what we have been talking, India as a market where the regional foods of India, there are so many. There can be hyper local products that can be created as a small scale industry. So good times for small scale long shelf life product focus. Start doing that, and start looking at creating your own community. How at Wonder Chef we have direct to home. Create your own community, create your networks, create referral programs around it, create products of shelf life, longer shelf life products. Start marketing in a small way. For large companies, for large business to be created, it will need a might and a marketing mind and might of a large player for this category to grow. But currently, even the largest ones are sub 100 crore categories in this uh, uh, pace and all of that. But will that grow? We are seeing good growth in that. In fact, we are launching our own range of long shelf life products in paste and all very soon. We have some solutions, and we are creating our own meal kits. With those, we are creating paste and all of that. So we are doing that very soon, because this is the opportune time.
So I'll take a last question from Ashish Ved, who's president of IMC. It's a light question, so I thought I'll take it at the end. Why are all tasty foods full of calories?
I don't agree with that statement. It is a state of mind. I love and tell me how many people enjoy pani puri. Pani puri is because of the pani that is there. Tell me how many calories are there in that pani. It's very low calorie thing. It is not it's not true. It's a state of mind. Idli, fantastic steamed idli, not high calorie. It is we think that there are few high calorie things that we like, and we always say that, oh, that's, we have to understand that fat, the satiety value is very high. Sugar and fat, the satiety value is very high, but that is in the mind. So you learn to train your mind, and you find many low calorie solutions that are there. So it's the training of the mind. There's nothing wrong with the food. There are no foods that are bad or unhealthy. There are many people who ask me, tell me healthy foods. I say foods are all foods are healthy. People are unhealthy. Have you ever heard of anyone, any food getting diabetes or any food getting heart attack? No, it's not food. It's us.
It's not food, it's us. I'm going to
Yes.
ask you a personal question and then wind it down. So, this evening, tonight, if you have to eat one dish, what is it and by whom? Who would prepare that? What is the one
Okay.
dish which is really favorite dish?
So actually, I talked about pani puri, pani, and that's not without a reason. That is exactly we are likely to have today. So normally once a week, and normally it's on Tuesdays, but today is not a Tuesday. We have a chaat day, followed by curd rice. And because of all this flu and this for last few weeks, we stayed away from chaat. Even at home, we make it at home. But yesterday we decided, no, let's have some chaat, let's have some pani puri, and that's what we are going to have. And everyone is cooking nowadays. My daughters, my wife, my mom, everyone is cooking. So a family that cooks together stays together. Now that everyone is staying together, let's cook together.
Sure. So, it's good chatting to you, Sanjeev. Give a last piece of advice before I close the session to young, chefs, young restaurant owners. You've said a lot of things, but if you have to summarize in, let's say, one or two sentences, what would you tell
Right.
them?
So
Aspiring chefs and
yeah, I
aspiring.
would say young chefs and young people who are getting into food, start understanding other parts of food. So let's say this session is arranged in by you 100x. Now they have to find people like yourself. They have to find people, companies like yourself, who can support young people who want to start business, and they can come. You can come. They can come to you with the support in finances, and not just money that you give. It's the mind, it's the expertise, all of that. So my advice to all young people: one core is making of food, but there are many other things that you need to understand to create successful business. So one key thing, and that I see many chefs lack, or they run away from it, and that's understanding of finance, that's understanding of
Sure.
money. So my advice would be, first keep your horizon open, start looking at people who can support with finance, with the money. They are always very valuable friends. Do you think that I would do sessions like this just like that? No, because these things are important, right? This is something, when you want to grow, if there is an idea, I can pick up the phone and say, Nina, this is here. Can you put me in touch with somebody, people who have money, and like this, we can raise money. So that's important. So focus on your core strength and find best people who you can join hands with. And I cannot, in today's day and age where money is scarce, make friends in the community of people with money.
Thank you. Thank you. You covered a lot of ground, Chef. We are a little bit over time, but for good reasons. You spoke about entertainment, you spoke about immunity boosting food, you spoke about having variable costs. I think it was a fantastic 25-minute session. Thank you, Chef Sanjeev Kapoor. We're delighted you could join us today in 20 Minutes Live. Thanks to all of you for being part of my program this week. I'll see you next week on Thursday at 5 p.m. for 20 Minutes Live. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you very much. Thank you.